where you went, I might want to, just try something else, or like football is just, it was never a question?
My parents were totally supportive of, they told me right off the bat, whatever you want to do is fine with us.
That's
we'll be
awesome.
100% supportive. It's just that I always knew that I love football, and, I just kind of hit the jackpot that it was, it was the family business. So it's worked out great for me. I'm very passionate about what I do. It's great when we're winning. It's tougher now. But like I said, it's been great.
But these are the moments where you prove yourself, especially with fans, the fans that stayed diehard. Trust me, coming from Boston, I know. With those Red Sox broke my heart, but it makes it all worthwhile when the pieces fall into place. So I respect everything that you guys are doing. I really do.
So Antoine, you guys played both the Patriots and the Ravens this season. Mixed results. Who do you like in this AFC Championship game?
The Ravens.
Really? Oh, this broke Rob's heart.
With all this New England gear.
So you just say that to spite him?
Good for you.
Yeah, you guys pretty much crushed the Ravens when you played them. You played tough against the Patriots, and that was early in the season, so it's a completely different team now. But do you really think that the Ravens have what it takes to beat the Patriots?
It's tough, and it's hard to pick these games based on momentum and how things go throughout the course of a game. But New England is on a roll right now, and that's tough to that's going to be tough to handle, especially in a home atmosphere.
Absolutely. Well, it's going to be interesting, and I'm telling you what, right now we're very excited that the Chargers are going to continue their relationship with Clear Channel and Rock 105.3.
Yeah.
And continue to hear me and Costa, hopefully, for those years in the next coming years, coming through 2014. And we appreciate you guys stopping by and letting everybody. So this is pretty exciting. We made this announcement earlier in the week that this radio station, Rock 105.3, and the San Diego Chargers are going to be best buddies for a little bit longer.
Awesome.
We've been the home of the San Diego Chargers for quite a while now. I think it's been, 6 years?
Yeah.
6 years, I think. I should probably know that because I've been on the broadcast that whole time.
It's been a good spell.
Yeah. And we decided, you know what? It's been pretty fun. Let's keep it going. And so we've decided to extend our broadcast rights with the San Diego Chargers until 2014. Hopefully the world won't end this year like it's expected, because I would like to be around for that. That would be cool.
Yes.
And joining us in the studio is really exciting. We have the Executive Vice President and CEO of the San Diego Chargers, A.G. Spanos. Welcome, A.G.
Thanks.
And starting cornerback for the San Diego Chargers, Antoine Cason, hanging out with us this morning. What's going on, guys?
Morning. How are you guys?
We're doing excellent, man. This is very exciting for us, obviously. I mean, we've been a part of the broadcast, Costa and I, since they've come over to Rock 105.3, and we're so stoked to continue our relationship.
Yeah, we're excited too. Clear Channel's been a great partner for us. We love the reach they have in San Diego. It gives us a chance to get out our messaging about season tickets, and we battle that. A lot of people think that we've been so good for so long, it's impossible to get season tickets. Not the case.
Right.
Tickets available now. 1-877-CHARGERS. Go on to Chargers.com. And really this year, there's never been a better time to be a season ticket holder. We're looking at doing more things than we ever had before. We're going to do facility tours to stadium tours, exclusive visits to training camp for season ticket holders, conference calls with ownership, GM, key players like Phillip Rivers, first-round draft pick. There's going to be so much more value in the package of being a Chargers season ticket holder that there's really never been a better time than now. So.
And let's talk a little bit about the opponents that are coming in here next year, which are a really interesting group of teams that are coming to be playing here at the Q. You got Cam Newton coming in with Carolina Panthers, which, I mean, he set the world on fire this year. You got Michael Turner coming back with the Atlanta Falcons. Of course, you're always going to have the Raiders, Tim Tebow with the Broncos. I mean, this is an exciting group of home games.
Yeah, and you left out a team that's still alive right now, Baltimore.
And no kidding.
So,
Talk about a huge game. That's going to be great. So if you're looking for season tickets, this is the time to jump on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Tickets available now, and 1-877-CHARGERS, like I said.
Antoine, when the schedule, or you see the opponents now, granted they haven't slated when they're going to be coming into San Diego, but do you look at that schedule and go, all right, okay.
Is there any ones you circle and go, okay?
Yeah.
That's a good question, but no, not for me.
Doesn't matter.
No, yeah. I mean, it definitely matters, but for me, the most important thing ahead of me is to have a great off season, and that stuff I can kind of tap into a little later in the off season and closer to summertime and get ready for that. But the most important thing for me is to have a great and good off season.
Now, obviously, the Chargers season unfortunately ended a couple weeks ago in the regular season. Good win though over the Raiders, knocked their asses out of playoff contention, which is always fun. As far as taking some time off and putting your legs up and resting, are you still doing that, or are you back to working out now?
Well,
Or do you ever stop?
Yeah, is there really an off season?
you stop for you have to take a break. But when I rest, I still do small things to try and help myself. So it is a rest, but I'm still kind of doing a little something to keep going and not just all the way be couch potato.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
It's definitely important to take care of your body.
And are you watching the games that are going on right now? Like obviously the big championship weekend is coming up. Is that hard to do, or do you watch these games?
In the beginning, it was tougher than it is now. I'm definitely a football fan, so I watch them.
Yeah.
But in the beginning, the couple weeks ago, the first round, second round, it was tough to watch.
Bitter.
Yeah, it's tough to watch. It's hard just because you put everything into it. I put everything into it, and you just know your team should be there, and it helps you go into this off season and work that much harder, of course, for your teammates and coaches and everybody involved in this whole thing.
And speaking of teams that are still in it, the Patriots are still in it. We got a guy from Boston obviously over here. He's a big Patriots fan, Boston Rob. You're an Arizona guy. So what do you think about this Rob Gronkowski? I mean, he's also an Arizona guy. He's been unbelievable and almost impossible to defend.
Yeah, when he was a true freshman, I was a senior, and his first year, everybody mouth dropped and eyes opened wide. He was about that big as a freshman in college, and it was just he was unstoppable. But I'm not a Patriots fan. I'm a friend of Rob. So
None of us are.
so that's as far as that goes.
So AG, we got to talk about the big move that the Chargers made this offseason of retaining the head coach and the general manager. We had your dad on a couple of weeks ago. I thought what he had to say was spot on. I understood where he was coming from. I think a lot of people kind of jumped to, immediately went to, well, wait a second, what's going on here? They had a lot of harsh things to say about the organization. How much did you have to say in that decision? And is it hard hearing this negativity coming from the fans a little bit?
Well, I think I think it's good that the fans feel so passionate about Charger football. I mean, the worst thing that would happen is them to not have opinion,
If
not
nobody
care,
cared, right.
and
Apathy.
nobody cared.
Yeah.
Apathy. So I think that's number one. Number two, I think my dad touched on this, but it's really tough to make decisions when you're in the middle. When you're really good, it's easy to just you know what to do, and when you're really bad, it's easy to know that you need to make a change. But when you're in the middle, it's kind of tough. And obviously, we went in a direction that a lot of people didn't thought we were going to go. I think this consistency, though, next year is going to give us a huge leg up. I think other teams in our division made changes. I think they're going to have to take a step back with new head coaches. That's going to give us a better chance to win our division, get back to the playoffs, and chase that Super Bowl.
Well, what's interesting to me is that I was one of the ones that originally said, well, obviously Norv's gone. Like, there's no question about it. But now looking at the landscape of the NFL and all these teams that have fired coaches, it almost seems to me like there's not enough guys that are available that could come in and be a head coach. I mean, everybody assumed, well, Bill Cowher and John Gruden and all these guys, I think they're pretty happy where they're at. I think they're fine doing what they're doing. And so they're not even on the table. So when you look at the guys that are getting interviews around the NFL, I don't know that I'm saying, well, that's better than what we have. So in reality, when you look at the decision, I actually think maybe it is for the best. And so it's kind of that initial, reaction thing that the fans have because we're not in the playoffs, I think, is where you have to get past. And once you get past that and you actually look at what's available, I think we're actually sitting kind of pretty. So
Yeah, I think you touched on that. Expectations are really high in San Diego. We've been good for a lot of years. I think we're a top 5 winningest team over the last 9 years. So people are used to winning in San Diego. They expect Super Bowls and they expect their team to represent them well. We're trying hard. I understand the pain of the Charger fan right now, but I gotta say that we're headed in the right direction. So.
And Antoine, what do you think about this whole situation with Norv? I know a lot of the players went to Dean Spanos and kind of fought for Norv. Where were you at in this whole decision that they made to keep Norv?
You know, my job is to play hard, and it's good that we have that consistency. Like AG said, it's really good to have the core guys go support the coach, and that's important because everybody's going to be on one accord out there on the field for next year, and that's what we have to do, and that feels good, and you have that same that's all I've known, Coach Turner. In my 4 years here is the only coach, and it's tough, so definitely good to keep that consistency going, and like I said, that's all I've known, so I don't,
You don't want change. Not yet.
That's not my decision
Right.
as well. So I'm here to play for the team, and of course have the fans behind us because like we've said before, the momentum in the stadium, the fans in the stadium, the support also helps us.
Okay, you mentioned the stadium. We got PR Director Bill Johnson in studio with us. The four of us know Qualcomm is a butthole. Okay? And
Well
you guys,
put.
you don't have to say it. I will say it for anybody who's listening. Because we're down there behind the scenes. We're underneath. We're in the locker rooms and stuff. AG, you mentioned new stuff, season ticket holders, tours of the stadium stuff. If you guys were to open it up to anybody and just to take them into the bowels of that place and say, okay, it's not only for skyboxes, it's not only for signage and stuff, it's really to improve the physical structure of this place, I think people's heads would spin how bad it is at Qualcomm Stadium.
Well,
And I'm off my soapbox.
Okay. Well said, Costa. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that there's only so much you can say about the stadium issue. I mean, you guys are still working at trying to get that new stadium built, and that's the bottom line.
Absolutely, we're working very hard to get something on the ballot. The mayor wants us to focus downtown. That's where we're putting our energies. We got some hurdles to overcome, but we're confident that we can come up with something that is going to be a regional asset, something that's not going to be used just 10 times a year, something that can potentially work as convention center space, something to expand Comic-Con with,
Right.
something that can host
Man.
Final Four, Super Bowls, that type of venue. So.
Yeah, I've talked to your dad about this a few times. Is that when you guys go to these new stadiums, like in in Arizona, or if you go to Dallas or wherever, he gets that little tinge jealousy of you going like, look at these giant, awesome new stadiums, and we don't have that yet. And so I get that the bottom line and the goal here is to get that new stadium here in San Diego.
No doubt. I mean, I'm going to Indianapolis in a few weeks for the Super Bowl.
Oh!
You need anyone to go with you?
You might want to wait until after Sunday then.
Not just on me.
Okay.
Was there any truth to the fact that what cemented the deal between the Chargers and Clear Channel was the stellar sideline reporting?
Oh wait, I don't know. I think it was the fantasy
I
show.
just
that we
throwing it
did.
out there. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah, no, I don't think that had anything to do with
They
this.
just
I'll
want to
answer
see
for him.
you wearing your sweaters around your waist.
Yeah.
On the side.
Such a good look.
Oh, guy with a sweater on there.
So Antoine, you mentioned you don't like a lot of change, obviously with Norv being your head coach for the entire time you've been in the league, but you are going to get a change in defensive coordinators. Talk about John Pagano a little bit and how excited you are to play for him.
Well, then again, Coach Pagano has been here.
That's a good point.
As long as I've been here.
Right.
And so I mean, he hasn't been a coordinator for me, and of course that's a change. But I'm excited to see. To see.
Do you think he's going to be different?
Defense. I'm just going in with the mindset of going in and working hard.
Yeah.
And, he's definitely going to do what he feel this defense needs to the best of his ability, and I'm excited about that.
Now, AG, one of the questions I wanted to ask you, I've always wondered, what's it like growing up like you grew up around this football team, it's football royalty.
Yeah.
I mean, what's that like, and doing what you're doing now?
It's been great. I mean, I love football, so it's worked out well for me. I played it in high school, played here in college. I'm living my dream job right now.
You and your brother.
So, yeah, me and my brother. I mean, I worked for the team when I started in high school. I was delivering mail. I was taking players to the
So you
airport.
started from the bottom up.
Yeah, I mean, I've worked pretty much with every department in the organization, so I have a great feel for the team and the organization, and it's like I said, we live it, we talk about it every family meal, and it's just part of our life.
Who you guys are.
I don't know anything different. So.
Right.
I can remember my first year covering the team when Bill was